Here we go. I'm going to help you get started in making a model of the solar system showing relative distance between the planets and the distance of the planets from the sun. Don't expect this to be a spectacular video. I'm not even good at making videos, so I'm just doing the best I can. That's all I ever ask my students is, alrighty, there's my wonderful sun that I made. The real sun is right there above our school, but I'm not going to shine it on you guys. But there's the sun that I made. You can tell it's back there because the long shadow. All right, so if you look at the distance between the planets reference sheet, you see that we don't use regular measurements for the distance in space because the distances are so large. One of the measurements we use is called an astronomical unit, and they're abbreviated AU, and what that stands for is the distance between the sun and the earth, and that's 1 AU is the distance from the sun to the earth. So what I'm going to have you do is use 1 meter to be 1 AU. So whatever you plan on using to measure with is fine, but I'm going to use a meter stick because that's going to work out perfect for me. One way to do this, I already set it at 0 from my sun and came out here. There's 100 millimeters, or 100 centimeters, sorry. And right there can be my mark for the earth. And I'm going to draw a circle for the earth. And I'm going to label it Earth. Now, this is only relative distance from the sun, the earth to the sun. 1,300,000 Earths fit inside the sun. If my sun and earth were at relatively scale sizes, you wouldn't be able to see my earth if my sun was this tiny. Now, most of you are probably thinking, well, wait a minute, Mr. Springer. Earth's not the closest planet to the sun. Mercury is. Well, Mercury is about 1/3 of an AU. So 1/3 of a meter is about 33 centimeters. And notice I keep saying about. All of these are estimated lengths because, like we know, each planet's orbit is elliptical and we're taking an average. So here would be Mercury. All right, what comes next? Venus. Venus is about 2/3 of an AU. 2/3 of a meter is about 66. About 66. And I just noticed my meter stick is upside down, or actually I'm doing it upside down. So we got Mercury, Venus, Earth. Now we got to go to Mars. And Mars is 1.5. Whoa, my sheet's trying to blow away. That's good though, because that'll flip me over to the right side. Mars is about 1.5 AUs from the sun. So here I have 1 AU. I can mark it with my finger. And I can't hold my phone and mark it, so I'm going to mark it with my foot. I'll mark it right there with my foot and slide my meter stick along. And if you have an adult home to help you do some measuring, maybe even show you some different ways, there's lots of ways to measure these larger distances. All right, so now for Mars, I've got to go, there was 1, now 1.5 would be another 50 centimeters. So right there is Mars. And let me give you a distance view of it. And there's a little distance view of the sun. You can kind of see Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Now, what comes next? Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars? Jupiter. Jupiter is no longer an inner planet, though, is it? It's the last one I'm going to show you. Actually, I'm not even going to go all the way, I don't think. Is 5 AUs. So how am I going to do 5 AUs when my meter stick's just 1 AU long? Well, right there was 1 at Earth. At the end of my meter stick is 2. So I'm going to mark that with something. I could mark it with my chalk. Or I could mark it with my foot. And I'm going to slide it along. And now I'm going 3. So there's 3 AUs. And these don't have to be perfect because they're estimates anyway. I just got to be as close as I can get. So that's 3. After 3 comes 4. And right there, now one more would give us 5. So I'm going to slide it over. There. And I think I'll mark this one for you guys. Now, remember, I'm not making my planets to scale, so even though Jupiter is one of the giants, I'm just going to make it a relatively regular size and label it Jupiter. Alright, so now, taking a look at how far away the sun looks now. And I have to go all this way to go from Jupiter till I get to Mars. Just a step to Earth, half a step to Venus, half a step to Mercury. There's my sun. If you look, way down there, you can see where my Jupiter is. Way down, right? Actually, look at my shadow. Right there where I'm pointing. Right there. That's Jupiter. Good luck with yours. Have fun with this. It's a great way to see. You need about 40 meters of room to do it. I'm doing it outside of our middle school, or right in front of our elementary school on the sidewalk, where I do it every year with students. What's a fun thing to do is run the distances to get used to how far apart relative each planet is from each other and from the sun. Also, it's a good way to practice the order of the planets. Have fun with this. See you soon.